Tonight on NEA Report, we're bringing you a case with disturbing allegations, and we urge caution as if you have a younger member of the family nearby, some of the details are graphic, and we might not want to share those details with them. It's the story of a restaurant owner who allegedly provided not just a paycheck, or at least one paycheck, but also the place of residence to a young immigrant who came to Jonesboro looking for opportunity. The man was alleged to have offered her a job and told her he would even let her stay with him. It was 1 month and a few days later that the man was accused of raping the woman. And it wasn't just one time that he had allegedly tried, according to her report made with Jonesboro Police Department. But it gets worse from there. He was said to have reportedly only paid her one time and forced her to work nights and days to the degree that she was so unable to stay awake that at one point she woke up in the middle of the night with her pants off, and she said she had dreamed that he had raped her, but she thought it was just a dream because she was so exhausted. And it was a short time later that she learned that the nightmare allegedly had come true. And we're talking about that next on NEA Report. Again, please, we urge caution. It's going to get graphic and disturbing to some of our viewers, but this is the type of stuff that needs to be discussed, as now more than ever, we must stand up for those who can't speak for themselves. The news starts now.
Now, Stan Morris reporting.
We begin the show tonight with a disturbing report, and we want to urge caution to everybody watching. If you're watching with children or others, you may want to at least shield them from some of the details in this until you as a parent have had time to absorb the information. It's some disturbing information, as we're going to be discussing a case of alleged rape that was reported in Jonesboro, and the details are very shocking, disturbing, and at times enraging as well. The owner of the Kieran restaurant, Hexen Chin, is accused of raping an immigrant employee and terrorizing her for months, according to a probable cause affidavit obtained by NEA Report and filed in Craighead County District Court this week. Again, we caution you, here come graphic details. On December 27th of 2017, officers with Jonesboro Police Department responded to an address to take the report from the alleged victim. She stated she had been working for the Kieran restaurant on South Caraway Road in Jonesboro since November 20th. She said that she had been living with the owner as well, staying in the apartment that he has in one of the bedrooms, the owner, Hexen Chin, that you're seeing right there on the screen. According to the employee, she said she arrived in Jonesboro from a fruit truck. She had come in with another friend and arrived in town from there, from Los Angeles. Whenever she got to town, she said Chin approached her about a job and offered her that and a place to stay. But then, according to the documents that NEA Report obtained, she said she was only paid one time in November. But that's the least of the allegations that have been reported against the owner of the restaurant on South Caraway Road. The woman said Chin had been violent with her several times since she had lived with him in the month and a few days or so. She said he tried to have sex with her several times, but she was able to get away. According to the woman, between 1 a.m. and 2:30 a.m. on the morning of December 27th, Chin came into her room. That's when the woman said that the incident allegedly took place. She said that she tried to scream and fight him away, but she woke up to him on top of her. He was pulling her pants down and her panties down, she said. The woman said that as she tried to fight him off, he placed his hand over her mouth, held her down with the other hand, and that's when he allegedly started raping her. According to the affidavit, the man ejaculated on her stomach. Then he hurried out of the room without saying anything, the woman said. She was too afraid to call 911 on her phone because, according to her, every time she spoke English on the phone, the man that you're looking at would beat her. She said if she spoke English on the phone, he would beat her. But the victim said she did try to preserve the DNA evidence with tissues and a plastic bag. Whenever she arrived back at work later that day, she didn't call 911 at first because she was terrified. She had to go back to work at the Kieran restaurant. When she arrived later that day, the traumatized woman said she was able to get a customer to meet her at the back door and take her to the hospital. That's where she was able to report the rape. Police had difficulty contacting Chen, who said he would be by the police station on January 1st, but he never showed up. He never came by. On January 2nd, they decided they would stop waiting for him, and a judge found probable cause to issue a warrant for the arrest and detention of Chen, pending further proceedings on the allegation of a charge of rape, a Class Y felony. He was arrested shortly after that. It was around noon on Wednesday afternoon that he was arrested. That's January 3rd. He was released on a $50,000 bond shortly after 5 p.m. Thursday evening. Spent about a day and a few hours in jail. Chief Deputy Prosecutor Grant DePro told the Jonesboro Sun in an article that they published today that Chen would have to turn over his Chinese passport before being released from jail. The report is incredibly disturbing. As a matter of fact, today we went by the Kirin restaurant and decided to try to confront Mr. Chen and ask him about the charges, ask him if anything to this was true, basically to get his side of the story. And so we did. We went by the restaurant, but we didn't get his side of the story. Instead, what we found were several employees who, at the beginning, told us that they were unaware of the newspaper article when we went by and took this photo today. We went inside and we talked to several, both a male and female employee at the Kirin restaurant. And they went and said that the owner was not there, and they came back with other employees. We presumed them to possibly be the manager or someone with seniority. The employee then claimed that we were at the wrong Kirin restaurant and that there was another one that we were supposed to be at. The employee said this while his hand was on my shoulder, gently, I should point out, but quite obviously hoping that I would move toward the door and leave their restaurant. While I was in the restaurant a short time trying to find out more information to see if any of the employees there knew more or were willing to talk, we never did see Chen, but we saw some others, plenty of people actually eating there today. And so I asked one of the individuals if he was aware of the story. He said he was not. Of course, the word will travel fast now that we've begun reporting this. Also, as mentioned in the Jonesboro Sun today, we'll be following this story and bring you the latest on it here on the NEA Report. Very disturbing. By the way, I just want to point out, if anybody watching this, immigrant or not, considers himself a victim that's in a difficult position where they cannot come forward, we would ask you to please consider yourself at any and all times welcomed and safe and 100% promise confidentiality if you reach out to NEA Report through our page and message us. We promise we will conceal your identity and do our very best to protect you. Disturbing news coming in today about a set of charges that have been filed against a man accused of child abuse out of Cave City. Here's the report. It came in earlier today from the office of Henry Boyce. Charges filed against Carl Adrian Ring, 30, of Cave City. Ring is charged with battery in the first degree, a Class Y felony punishable by 10 to 40 years or life in prison, after an incident reported on December 11th when Sharp County 911 was called by the mother of a 3-year-old child. The ambulance was transporting the infant to White River Medical Center in Batesville and reported in transit that the child was unresponsive, pulseless, and not breathing. There's not much information that's been made available to NEA Report about this, except that Henry Boyce said, quote, "This case is particularly disturbing in lieu of an apparent presence of previous trauma to a 3-month-old infant." Oh, goodness. We'll be following this story closely to let you know more about this as it comes out and happens. However, those charges filed today, according to the 3rd Judicial District Prosecuting Attorney, Henry Boyce. Well, a traffic stop began for a Lake City woman over fictitious tags, but by the time it was over with, there was a lot more that she was headed to jail for. The report from the Greene County Sheriff's Office, who sent us along the story, after a Lake City woman was stopped for fictitious tags. It happened Wednesday afternoon this week. It was on January 3rd when Captain Mike Riles with the Greene County Sheriff's Department was on Highway 135 South when he noticed a blue and gray van headed north. He ran the tags and found they were licensed to a Honda Civic. That's no van. Riles began the traffic stop for the vehicle having fictitious tags, but by the time that he got the vehicle pulled over, he started noticing something was a little bit different. Something was strange. And he also noted that the vehicle continued for a short distance before it pulled over on the highway. The deputy made contact with the driver, Colina Forrester Qualls, 45, of Lake City, That's her, by the way. She seemed nervous and would not make eye contact, the officer reported. So he asked her to step out of the vehicle as a canine officer arrived, a canine handler. The officer, Dex, alerted to something being in the vehicle. And after she was told about this, her demeanor reportedly changed entirely. As the canine handler conducted a search, she was reportedly pulling up her skirt and ran her hand down the right side of her pants. She claimed her stomach was hurting, but officers were wise to her excuses. They found, according to the report, crushed Xanax pills in her purse, along with a syringe hidden in the sunroof. That's a pretty good location to hide one. Qualls was arrested and taken to the Greene County Jail, but that's where they made the big motherlode find. She was searched by a female detention officer and found 34 grams of suspected methamphetamine in her pants, according to the report. During a taped interview, the defendant reportedly waived her right to have an attorney present, which is always interesting. She then was said to have admitted to transporting drugs for payment from one point to another. She also allegedly admitted to hiding the suspected meth in her pants so it would not be discovered. Now, you know why they have to search you at the jail. Qualls faces misdemeanors for fictitious tags and possessing instruments of crime, and faces a felony for possession of crystal meth more than 10 grams with intent to deliver. Well, coming up after the break, we're going to have to talk about this weather, you and I. We've got to talk about what it's going to be doing this weekend, and specifically on Sunday and Monday. It could get a little bit crazy around these parts. That's coming up on NEA Report. Hang tight.
Family Medical Clinic of Walnut Ridge and Bono are your neighborhood healthcare providers, and we're now accepting new patients. We know you have a tight schedule, so we're here 6 days a week at both locations from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Walk-ins are welcome. In Walnut Ridge, stop by 1045 West Main Street or call us to make an appointment, 886-8300. In Bono, we're on Highway 63 North or call 930-9990. Walnut Ridge Family Medical Clinic and Bono Family Medical Clinic, here for you when you need us.
We had a website that we had had for a number of years. It had become unwieldy to navigate. Ace One said, give me a little time and I'll come up with something and just see what you think about it. It blew us away. Ace One and his staff have given such close personal attention and outstanding customer service, just as if we were $1 million company. I just can't say enough good things about them.
It's going to be a rainy weekend, at least for a few of the days across northeast Arkansas, as we're watching for rainfall to move in on Sunday and last through Monday as well. Now, the hope is that the temperatures are not going to be anywhere near the freezing mark by the time we have to take a look at those. Let's take a look at your New Wave Wireless forecast right now, home of the $49 iPhone screen repair. Tonight looks like first of all, for the rest of this afternoon at least, the highs going down from 36 degrees. Then tonight, down to 19 degrees. Excuse me, partly cloudy skies. On Saturday, sunny with a high near 32. That's freezing. Saturday night, mostly cloudy, a low around 24. And then on Sunday, that's what we're really looking at with I would say bated breath, but I think we're pretty confident that it's not going to be freezing rain at this point, although there was kind of the talk of that from the Weather Service yesterday. They moved that word out of the forecast, and I was thinking they would, with the highs being around the 40-degree mark and the lows not really being around freezing. The night before they will be, but that night, showers on Sunday night, but lows down to 38. So again, thankfully, we jump out of the freezing territory just in time for that one. As mentioned, 70% chance you're going to see showers Sunday, and you may see 15-mile-per-hour winds too, up to 1/4 of an inch of rain. But Sunday night, up to 3/4 of an inch of rainfall is possible. That's when it's really going to start coming down. It looks like the low, as mentioned, 38. Then on your Monday, we're seeing a 40% chance of showers leading up till noon. After that, the showers will move out, mostly cloudy skies, and the high near 46. 31 for the low Monday night. Mostly sunny, though, by Tuesday with a high near 45. Jumping ahead a little bit, 51 for the high on Wednesday and 51 for the high on Thursday as well, as showers are forecast to start showing back up Wednesday night. But again, with those highs in the 50s, well, that'll work. Well, we always love to see local departments, area agencies, and government offices kind of coming into the 21st century more, so to speak. And a new app that has just been launched for a local sheriff's department is helping them to do just that. In fact, it's helping to add a little extra transparency to the process as well, and you're getting to see a little bit of a preview of it right there. It's the Cleburne County Sheriff's Office's brand new app. It's a new mobile app that gives easy access to different things that you might want to do throughout through the Sheriff's Department, like submit a crime tip or maybe see the most wanted or check out where the offenders are living. They're also doing push notifications on the app as well that way if you want to subscribe, you can find out more information about stuff that's going on or maybe community policing efforts. The app, the Sheriff's Office says, it is another layer of transparency and encourages the public to take an active role in community policing efforts. A press release said, "We would love for every county resident or visitor to download our app and sign up for push notifications. We believe our app will be a huge benefit to the Sheriff's Office and residents of Cleburne County as well." This is how departments stay in touch with their residents in the 21st century. Well, there's a really neat competition that's coming up for any aspiring journalists or filmmakers, maybe future politicians that are out there who want to make America great again. It's happening at Arkansas State University, and we're going to tell you about it right now. It's called the 80th Annual Communications Day. See high school students from across Arkansas going to be coming together to test their communication skills and talents in the 80th annual event on Saturday, March 3rd at Arkansas State University. The Department of Media and the Department of Communication and the College of Liberal Arts and Communication, they're organizing the event. It'll be held in the Education and Communication Building, 330 University Loop. The event's going to feature a whole lot of neat competitions in broadcasting, print journalism, public relations, advertising, photojournalism, narrative filmmaking, social media, sports, debates. I mean, all kinds of stuff, really. Anything you can think of where you're going to be speaking out loud in front of others is something that they're going to be hosting competitions for. And students from any high school in Arkansas can compete free of charge for first, second, third, and honorable mention prizes. The school accumulating the highest number of points for the day will get a sweepstakes plaque, and all prizes will be presented at 2:30 p.m. the day of the competition. Students can participate in two types of competitions. They're pre-competitions, where students submit the work they completed between March 15th of last year and February 23rd of this year. Got to get that submitted by 5 p.m. February 23rd, of course, and B, on-site competition. That's wherever you're doing stuff out there live. The pre-competition would be like if you produced a pre-tape package or some type of film, for example. Check-in time is 7:45 a.m. on March 3rd, and the competition begins at 9 a.m. astate.edu. If you would like to find out more information, it should be a blast. Hopefully there'll be some future employees of NEA Report out there. Finally tonight, before we leave you here, we want to tell you about a very heartwarming story. A story of a woman who really is a legend in this area, Mary Ann Ritter Arnold. Of course, she passed away at the end of December, but the Mark Tree mayor was just honored on the floor of the United States Senate. That's right, the U.S. Senate of the United States of America. She was honored by Senator John Bozeman, who took the floor this week to speak about Mary Ann Ritter Arnold. And man, did he honor her. He mentioned, quote, "Mary Ann was devoted to the town of Mark Tree and loved it as much as anybody," he said on the floor of the Senate. Quote, "Her family had been part of the town from its inception, and she would fondly remark how she loved this little old town any chance she got." But I can tell you from talking to residents there, that little old town loved Mary Ann Ritter Arnold. That'll do it for us tonight on NEA Report. We invite you to join us again on Monday at 4 p.m. for more news from Northeast Arkansas. And remember, we're always here breaking news as it happens, all hours of the day on NEA Report. If you haven't had a chance to yet, make sure you set up your notifications on Facebook to see when NEA Report goes live. That way, if there's breaking news, you'll have it in the palm of your hand as we're live on the scene. You might be able to even ask questions about what's going on as it's happening out there. Again, thanks everybody for liking and sharing this video. We do greatly appreciate it, and we'll see you on Monday. Hopefully you'll have a safe weekend.